Can you get rich driving a truck? Well, that answer, it depends. In this video, I'm going to share some insights as to how you could potentially get wealthy using a truck. There's a law that controls every business. It doesn't care how hard you work. It doesn't care how much money you make. It's the law of entropy. Any system without structure eventually breaks down. Money leaks, stress starts to rise, and then progress, well, it stalls. And the law answers a question I hear all the time. Can you get rich driving a truck? The real answer is yes and no. Driving a truck, it can create cash flow, but cash flow alone will not create wealth. Picture a truck on the highway with a full tank of fuel. The engine is running strong, trailer fully loaded, but there are no exits. There is no destination. The truck, it just keeps driving across America, burning up fuel, racking up miles, and wearing out truck parts and components. That's what most trucking businesses look like. Money's coming in, but nothing is actually being captured. Nothing is being redirected. Momentum without destination is just expense in motion. This is what wrecks most owner-operators. Trucking, it pays fast. They fall in love with the fast money, but guess what? That's also where the trap is. Fast money feels like progress, but fast money without structure creates financial inertia. You keep doing what you've been doing because it's working just enough to make the payments, just enough to cover your insurance, just enough to survive. But here's the hard truth every driver knows. If you stop driving, well, the money stops. That's not wealth, that's labor with wheels. And the data actually backs this up. Most millionaires in this country, they didn't get wealthy from income alone. They built or acquired income producing assets. Assets that pay them whether they show up or not. Trucking by itself is not an asset, y'all. It's a tool. A tool that, if used properly, can potentially create wealth. The law of polarity simply says, every advantage has a cost. Trucking gives you speed, cash flow, and opportunity, but it also demands time. And well, time is your most valuable resource. It's the one thing in life you can never ever get back. Have you ever heard someone say, hey, time is money? And well, on the surface, that may sound good, but if you actually take the time to think about it, it doesn't really add up. Let's say you got a call from your doctor tomorrow and you were told you only had days to live. But guess what? There's a cure. How many people would spend every dollar they could get their hands on or access to acquire this cure? If that's you, then you already know that time is infinitely more valuable than money. So if you want to get rich driving a truck, you have to stop trading your time for money. The same truck that can fund your future can also trap you behind the seat, chasing mile after mile, load after load, if you don't build systems to use it to extract the cash flow. High revenue with no structure ultimately turns into chaos. Here's the mindset shift, guys, you need to have, right? To go from driver to owner. Wealth, it isn't built with intensity. It's built with momentum. Momentum, it comes from systems. There are 3 stages or levels that you need to scale in order to do this. You have driver mode, operator mode, and owner mode, right? In driver mode, it asks a question. How much does this load pay? Primarily focusing on the short term. Operator mode asks, how predictable is this work? But owner mode, where the real players live, they ask different questions. The wealth creator mode asks, how do I turn this cash flow into an income producing asset that pays me whether I'm working or not? The sad truth is most people never make that mindset shift. This is how trucking actually builds wealth. You don't start with assets. You start with control. Controlled cash flow compounds. Controlled cash flow compounds. Uncontrolled cash flow, well, it just disappears. So the first system isn't about scaling. It's not about adding more trucks. It's not chasing the highest rate. It's about consistency. running tight operating lanes, running predictable freight, and running short runs near a major metro. Why? You're going to get less fuel burn, you're going to get less wear on your equipment, and less chaos. Your truck stops being a stress machine and it starts acting like a cash flow engine. Freedom doesn't come from revenue. Freedom comes from control. And control, it must exist. You need to have control in order to generate repeatable, consistent cash flow. Once cash flow is stable, you can leverage that cash flow to access business capital, not personal savings, not draining your accounts, not blindly buying more trucks, but structured access to outside capital, bank capital, multiple banking relationships, clean credit behavior, and low utilization. When capital is structured properly, owners can access this and leverage it without suffocating their cash flow. But here's the key, y'all. This capital is not used to buy more liabilities. It's used to acquire income-producing assets outside of trucking. That's the sauce. That's how you can get wealthy driving the trucks. You want to accumulate assets that pay you whether you're driving or not. Those things should include real estate, equities, cash flowing businesses. That's when trucking stops being the destination and starts becoming the engine. The truck funds the system. The system builds the assets. And the assets, that's what creates the wealth. The final truth, y'all, can you get rich driving a truck? No, if the truck is the plan. But yes, if you understand how to use the truck as a tool. Without structure, entropy wins. With systems, momentum compounds. And that's the difference between working forever and building wealth. If you want to go deeper into how to build systems like this, click the link in the description. Everything starts with structure.